Yes, this looks like a mugshot, but it's a budget operation here on the Last Picture Show. Quick take. Also, I don't think I could find anyone to speak about this on such short notice. You're just going to have to bear with me for like the next 5 minutes.
Doomsday!
So we're reacting to, or at least I'm reacting to, Marvel's latest drop. I don't even know if I can call it a drop because I was like watching paint dry. Over the period of 5.5 hours, they revealed the cast of their latest film. That is, of course, the latest, the newest installment in the Avengers franchise, Avengers Doomsday. Avengers Doomsday. Of course, this brings back the Russo brothers and Robert Downey Jr. into the Marvel fold. And I remember back at what was it, Comic-Con or Marvel-Con or whatever it was. I'm forgetting. But I remember when they announced the news that the Russo brothers were coming back, that smelled of desperation. But then when they announced, or at least Robert Downey Jr. revealed himself on stage to be coming back to Marvel, this time not as Iron Man / Tony Stark, but Victor Von Doom / Dr. Doom. I felt that Kevin Feige either got notice from Bob Iger that if he doesn't shape the F up, I'm fasting, he's out on his ear, or else. I don't know. I spoke about this with a couple of other people, or at least people who have no lives like myself, who just like watching movies. And as fans of Marvel, I never thought I would see a day when, after this success, that sort of flurry that we had, 2014 to about 2020, that was, I think, the golden era, that period of, like, back-to-back hits, thanks in part to, of course, people like the Russo brothers and Tony and Robert Downey. Then, of course, we had Phase 4. Phase 4 was nightmarish because the thing is, it actually it went from the sublime to the ridiculous. It went from Marvel to like early Marvel, like, if you remember the first Captain America, Thor, so on and so forth. And then it didn't quite achieve that sort of DC level of stink, but the films were just bad. I think the only notable film from that period was, of course, Spiderman, No Way Home. Other than that, you had Eternals, you had Black Widow, oh God, Doctor Strange, so many of these movies. But yeah, I mean, Marvel needs to desperately get its groove back, considering the IP and considering its past successes. So here we have Marvel announcing a pretty stacked cast, almost, I think, 20 plus. And while there aren't surprises as such, we have, of course, all of these second, all of the stringers, all of the second tier Avengers left. We have now the addition of Fantastic Four, whose movie is going to be releasing this year. But then we also have the announcement of the X-Men. They'll be a part of this as well. And that's not a spoiler. That was revealed, last night in a curious... I don't know, I think Marvel's marketing department or whoever's responsible for this needs to take notes. I don't think, despite the ardent fans that you do have out there, nobody's going to sit through 3 Avengers movies just to see empty chairs and the names on the back of them slowly being revealed. And then, of course, Robert Downey Jr. plonks into his seat and, he's there. So yeah, Marvel marketing department, please take note. I don't know. I don't know what to make of this, of the movie, because if all of you, like myself, did catch Captain America Brave New World, it wasn't sort of that bold new direction that you hoped Marvel would be taking. It was unfortunately a Winter Soldier retread, this time with Anthony Mackie as the new Captain America. And while he does his darndest to carry the movie, along with Harrison Ford, it just really didn't come together. And I don't know, I have this gut feeling, if you will, that Marvel isn't going to be, it's not going to be make mine Marvel. It's not going to be made mine Marvel. It's not going to be the kind of Marvel that we, some of you grew up to, but at least the Marvel that we saw from about 2014 to 2020, from Captain America Winter Soldier all the way to Avengers Endgame. So next up we have, of course, Thunderbolts. Not so, my apologies. Yes, of course it is. It's next we have Thunderbolts. It has the potential to be. Sorry, the reason why I just digressed there was when I said Thunderbolts, I immediately thought that I was thinking of Suicide Squad. I don't know why. But yes, we have Thunderbolts coming up next. And again, I like the cast. There's potential for magic. And Marvel fans are out there like, oh, this is the first A24 type movie Marvel is going to do. Well, we saw how that didn't go to plan with the Eternals when you hired Oscar-winning Chloe Zhao, who is a fine director, but it just didn't come together on a project like, sort of Eternals. But we have the Thunderbolts coming up next. Let's see how that goes. If you're watching sort of the minor Marvel stuff in between, two very promising shows. One, of course, was the new Spiderman animated series, which I like. Of course, I know one friend in particular, and if you're watching out there, Taha, this goes out to you. Didn't like the fact that Norman Osborn is now black, but sort of like, that kinky hair does really, it makes sense. But other than that, I like the animation style, of course, in the style of Jack Kirby. But yeah, sort of so far, it's been pretty good. And then, of course, there is Daredevil Born Again. Very strong first episode, I would say. That's thanks in part to, I'm definitely going to give them credit, because if anyone did watch it, Loki season 2 was really good. Unfortunately, because I think it was Marvel fatigue, superhero fatigue, I'm not sure. It just kind of got swept under the rug. But Loki season 2 was really, really good, and that's thanks in part to, let's see if I get this right, Justin Benson and Mike Moorhead, or maybe I'm getting the names, I'm transposing them. But yeah, these two guys, they're really good directors, have made some really, really good science fiction movies over the years, and they have signed on for, I think for the most part, for, the directing responsibilities for Daredevil, and it's good to see this. I think that sort of they prematurely ended this over at Netflix, and I think that all of the Marvel Knights, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Punisher, and of course Daredevil, they need their Disneyification. They need their that Disney budget behind the shows. So I really hope that comes back. Again, that gut feeling is Doomsday isn't going to be as good as what we've seen in the past, but I will, of course, as always, hold back judgment until I've actually seen it. We've got Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four coming up next, so let's see how those are. Until then, this is that quick take the Last Picture Show quick take. Thank you for watching me mince my words for like 10 minutes.